If you had been following this case from the very beginning, you would have definitely seen this masked man. He was allegedly knocking on people's doorbells leading up to the quadruples. The police were aware of it, but it's never been mentioned so far. I wonder if this person could have been involved in the quadruples. Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for education purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho 4. May the victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. This masked man was going around knocking on people's doors and trying to actually even open the handles on the door, the knobs. The police was informed of it, but we haven't heard back from them, just like the 3 unidentified male DNAs. I've gone back to the beginning of this case like I usually do every 3 months, and it's always interesting because something new comes up. Not only in court, but there's so much to expose that I think everything happens in a certain time. I want to know why the Banfield boys and Saeed were not investigated properly. Their clothes did not look right. The pictures Jovito, the girl with the black hair and blonde hair, black and blonde hairlights, at the grub truck, the people who were yelling Xano's name, the crowd who were yelling, let's go, and they were yelling Ethan's name at the grub truck. I believe this was all connected to the UNALIVINGS. It's disturbing to see it, especially the fact that so many people at the grub truck are carrying. And that is what I want to actually talk about today, because I think it's really important and people are actually not noticing. That is the main thing. People are actually carrying weapons, K-bars, whatever, sharp-edged weapons at the grub truck. Before I start, I'd love to say trigger warning, because it could be uncomfortable for some people to watch. I just wanted to show you all what I believe these youngins are carrying in their pockets, their belts, their jackets. And I find it really interesting that we haven't heard anything about Maddie, that Maddie was yelling or defending herself. And I believe that is due to number 9 put something in Maddie's mouth, clearly. So did he give us something that would actually knock her to sleep? Was it out of goodwill he did it? Or was it something else? Isn't it strange that 2:52 was the last call made by Maddie to Jack D? Why would Maddie be calling Jack D? They already met him at the grub truck, so whatever was said to Adam definitely became an issue. It became an issue for the girls, and that's why I believe Kaylee was texting so much at the grub truck. This is actually what I want to discuss about. The knife sheet. How did it end up on Maddie's bed? These people had 8 hours to clean up, to do whatever they feel before calling 911. We've heard that DM wasn't sure if she was dreaming. But it leaked from the grand jury that DM and BF were texting each other. Is that where the exculpatory evidence of Bethany Funk is going to come from? The crime scene was right up to her window. Something happened next to Bethany Funk's window. And she must have definitely seen the person. She must have seen BK if he was around there for something else. Let's not forget this was a party house. There must be over hundreds of DNA. Now, if we go according to the 4chan enormous theory, you can clearly see this young man is carrying, and he's with David Lodge. I did research and check. Somebody told me the person in the front wasn't David Lodge, but it is David Lodge. I see David Lodge and two of his friends. The one who's going to wear the jacket is carrying. He's carrying a machete and he has a black belt on. I wonder if it could have been his knife sheath. This is not the only person carrying, guys. You can go to the grub truck and check him out. He looks like one of the figures that were running. He could have taken off his black beanie cap because he has a grey hoodie. This one on the left with the black and cream hoodie, the black hoodie, and he has, it's black and white, I guess, or cream and white, beige and white. That one looks like one of the figures running too. This girl with the cowboy hat keeps on watching her phone, and she's watching some interesting pictures too. Keep in mind. So I showed you all people who were clearly carrying weapons at the grub truck. I believe that is David Lodge, allegedly, with the yellow hoodie and black jacket. He himself has something bulging out of his jacket. His friend is definitely carrying. And these are the people at the grub truck. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are the figures that were running. Here's the young man and David Lodge. Look at the one with the grey. Not only was he carrying a large machete in his belt and pants, he's actually carrying something in his hoodie pockets. Now this is interesting. These are the same three guys at the grub truck. The one with the blue shirt and cap on is the one who's carrying the long machete. Now pay attention, they're actually driving a white pickup truck. So it's not only Jack D that we thought could have a white truck. David Lodge and his friends have a white truck too. I remember the police were around Sigma Chi, the Idaho police. In the beginning, the state police was there a lot investigating something. These are the same three guys you see at the grub truck. I find that to be interesting. And they're carrying. That's the reason I believe the 4chan, whoever was anonymous, was trying to tell us, could have been maybe Ethan's brother or sister. It could have been a good friend. It could have been Hunter Johnson, Emily. It could have been anyone who was trying to tell us what exactly happened, in my opinion. Sorry the picture is blurry, but this was the black truck that passed by Banfield at exactly 3 a.m. And the tripod from Chicago, Illinois, did actually say that they recorded a black truck and a female hysterically yelling and running from the back door. Could this have been the black truck that DM is driving? Or DM has the keys in her hand and she has on a pair of van shoes? But this truck looks too big. Inan Harsh said that he saw a fancy or luxury SUV. But this ain't a SUV. Could this be the one we saw at Banfield? Or is this the truck that we saw at Banfield? Jagdish getting off this truck. He colored his hair black. I wonder why he colored his hair right after the unalivings. And he did have injuries on his fingers and hands, in my opinion, and I've shown you all the pictures. Could it have been this black truck, or was it DM's black truck? Let me know in the comments.
Police.
Thursday, we looked at our phone records. We want to be accurate. We don't want to sell anyone out.
About 3 o'clock on Thursday.
And did y'all get an update from the police about the investigation?
There was nothing. We have no updates for you.
There was no update. They needed me to sign a waiver form so that they could investigate something
Some mail.
that was mail related.
I've always found that to be interesting. The police made Steve sign a waiver form because they needed something that was coming in the post for Kaylee that was mail related. Something was coming in a mail. And let's not forget, it's always been said that Kaylee had a stalker. What was going to come in the mail? Kaylee was at home for a month before she came back. So did the stalker send her some letters? Was it something more sinister? I really want to know, what was it that the FBI wanted from Kaylee's mail? If you pay attention to what the officer is carrying, doesn't it look like red liquid in the bags? I wonder if the victims were wearing these shoes that night. You can clearly see something red at the bottom of the bag on the shoes. This picture I took from Fox News. This shoe could be Ethan's shoe. And it does look like it has red liquid. Why were they saying that all the victims were sleeping? I doubt they were sleeping. There was a real fight going on for survival. Pay attention to the shoes. Most of them are Vans. I can see the shoes is a check shoe, but you can see the red liquid smudges everywhere. That doesn't belong to the shoe. What do you all think? Were the victims wearing these shoes that night? Why didn't they cover it in a black bag at least? This definitely looks to me that it is red liquid. Could this be the Vans that was the footprint that was found, the diamond-shaped footprint in front of DM's room? Could it have been Ethan running for help, knocking her door, allegedly? Talking about all the red flags, pay attention to the one in the right corner. Whatever smudged on his jeans looks definitely like red liquid. Look at the knees. This is not even zooming in and you can see something's wrong with these three. Then you have Maddie's jacket in the corner, behind the bushes. These three boys are part of what Anonymous said in 4chan. These three had beef with Ethan, and the rummaging upstairs was from them. DM thought it was the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Something's not right with these three. I've always said that. Always focus at the Banfield and the grub truck for a reason. Look at how anxious he is. Look at his jeans. Something's not right with these pants. Now I want you all to pay attention to Hunter Johnson. I want to know what's up with his eyes. In the beginning, people were telling me it's because he was crying. That looks like a black eye to me. His whole speech about Ethan owing him money did not seem right. I think he was trying to get people to laugh, but he kept on bending down his head, and that's how he caught my attention. I found this out 3 weeks ago, I believe.
My first impression of Ethan was some tall, goofy kid that, looked athletic, and he was, because we played a lot of basketball during that time.
He's avoiding the camera.
Basketball wasn't enough to convince him to join my house, so he ended up going to Sigma Chi, but that didn't mean we weren't going to be friends forever. So one thing he told me, because he told me he was going to join Sigma Chi, he said, if I do that, you better not block me and ghost me on anything. And I couldn't believe he said that, because I just knew I wanted to be friends with him for a long time.
Something's not right with Hunter. I wonder why DM and BF chose to call him instead of calling the police first. I've heard the chain he's wearing is Ethan's. I don't know if that's true. But look into his eyes. He's not only crying. Let's not forget this is 2 weeks after the UNALIVINGS. So he's healing, in my opinion. Where was Hunter and Emily that night? I'm just showing you all the red flags that I've been noticing in the last 2 years. Hunter wasn't at the grub truck. We didn't see him at Banfield. He could have been one of the figures. Or maybe he was not involved. But who did he have a fight with? Why do his eyes and his nose look that way? It's easy to see that his eyes are not normal. Pay attention to when he opens his eyes. Looks like a horror movie. Hate to say that. Was there a fight club? What were these people up to? They were allowed to go home for Thanksgiving. No wonder he kept on looking down. I wanted to share this with you all. I'm wondering if this could have been Showalter. Because he has on the white hoodie, all he had to do was wear the mask. Look at his pocket. What is he carrying? These people are carrying. So this is the third person I've shown you all carrying at the grub truck. And there was another one I've shown you all before. So I can clearly see 4 people are carrying sharp edge items. Could that be Showalter? And at the picture, the one you see at the corner on the right is what Joe Beater was watching. Is that Ethan and Zan on the floor? I wonder. Found this to be interesting. It was from a legit reporter who's covered the Gabby Petito case. He said the investigators are concentrating to find out why Maddie was mutilated. May she rest in peace. And I've heard this one before, in the beginning. Not only from this reporter, from another person on Facebook, from the college, said the same. That Jack D and Hoodie Guy were the main suspects and the frats, allegedly. Hoodie Guy, Showalter was the only person who left and drove to Boise, Idaho. He has a lot of K-bar knives and he was in a rage. His two targets were on the third and second floor. That's Ethan, because Ethan got him kicked out of the flats, and Kaylee got him kicked out of the corner club. We're going to get you for that, Maddie. That is what he told Maddie. And they got them. They rest in peace. So these are the posts from the beginning. Kaylee was rude to him at the bar. That's Shawalter. She got him kicked out for harassments, not only towards the girls. He got him kicked out of his frat, Delta Tau, because of sexual harassments again. So this young man has definitely some issues. And he was recently arrested 5 months ago in Boise, Idaho, for disturbing the peace, and he got misdemeanors for disturbing the peace and bothering the neighbors. He has more behavior issue, if you ask me, as a CBT counselor. I would have been looking at Hoodie Guy because he's caring and he was upset with the girls. When I zoom into Shawalter's face at the grub truck, it looks like this exactly. You can zoom in yourself and check. He could barely open his eye. Could he have been in a fight at the corner club? And he must have been bothering Kaylee, so they threw him out. And he's carrying. So somebody cut him on his face, allegedly. These are all for my thumbnails. Look at what he's carrying. This is not normal. So DM wasn't sure if she was dreaming or not. She heard someone running from the third floor to the second floor, back to the third floor, and then they came down to the second floor. And Ann Taylor saying that was wrong. Was DM on some kind of rugs like mushrooms or pills or something? Why didn't they call the police? This is interesting because it seemed like all the roommates knew Murphy. All the DNAs would be on Murphy, so there's no point even. I'm sure Murphy was taken out when the unalivings was happening. We heard Olivia saying, the girls did everything right. They went on a buddy ride. They came home. They let the dog out to potty. So what happened when they let the dog out to potty? Did someone take the dog to distract them and come in? I want to know what was going on at the corner club. Maddie and Kaylee seem fine when they're talking to Jack D. This is when Hoodie Guy got thrown out. And this is when Maddie told Adam something that made Kaylee upset. Wow. You see this white truck that was seen in front of the girls' house at 156? Could this be David Lodge's white truck or Jack D's white truck? Could it have been this white truck? Was it this white truck that was passing by the corner club when Maddie and Kaylee were walking with Shawalter? Pay attention, David Lodge has a white truck. This was from Plunder. This was David Baracho in the beginning talking to someone. He said there was no fight. No, David didn't stay at my place. We both live in the fraternity house, but reside in different apartments. And no, there was nothing to witness. Besides that, the fact that you are all carrying in the grub truck, he's saying there's nothing to witness. Over here he says, Ethan was our brother. You don't know us or the community. Stop replying to me as if you know this relationship better than us. So you'll see, the Davids were defending themselves from the very beginning, and people were on their tail. The other guy told David, I think you should watch out for the bros in your frat. Whether you did it or not, someone knows way too much about you and David Lott and posting it online. Someone has been harassing us because you true crime fanatics do not let it go. So they're saying things that didn't actually happen. He's trying to blame it on the true crime world. That's including me, especially me, David. But you know what? I'm not buying it. I personally believe the Sigma Chi fraternity boys were involved. That is why the university is covering it up, allegedly. I'm entitled to my opinion. They know that if this blows out that it's the frats and the sororities that did it, nobody's going to enroll in that university anymore. This is very interesting. All this of a 4chan thread that no one can validate? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I dead-ass hope one of these kids that everyone's accusing takes someone to court for defamation and slander. This is insane. Last week it was the roommates and Jack, and this week two guys' names in the 4chan. If you are one carrying, I would have believed it wasn't you. But all the people that are mentioned, the Jacks, Adam, the Davids, and the three guys in Banfield and Saeed, in my opinion, are all involved. And there are more players. There are more people at the grub truck that are involved. Everyone knew about what was going to happen that night to these 4 innocent victims. Here you have Jack D playing tennis. And he's an axe thrower. He chose axe for fun. That's what they do in Idaho, Moscow, allegedly. And then you have Jack John Showalter, who's a professional wrestler and a skilled hunter with K-bars. Then you have the Davids, who fantasize about unaliving people, allegedly. That was said from the college. I believe the 4chan is completely right. The 19 minutes theory is what I'm following. The figures were running at 3:12. From 3:12 in the morning, go backwards 19 minutes. Minus 19 minutes, you'll be at 2:53. 2:55 is when you hear the girls yelling, "Stop it, stop." So this was recent. Showalter was charged misdemeanor for disturbing the neighbors and disturbing the peace. He's been reported for harassments by females. He was thrown off the corner club. He was carrying at the corner club. He was very involved. He was the only person who left town that night. He comes from a family where his father is a surgeon, his mother's a doctor, his brothers are surgeons. Hoodie guy was definitely involved, in my opinion. And his middle name is Rogers. Wonder if he was Papa Rogers, or if it was Enon, or if it was BK. Adam Lauder is the only one we don't know much about. He's a roommate of Jack D. We've seen him playing with Murphy the dog, so he knows Murphy. And Kaylee was upset of whatever Maddie told Adam. Adam must have told the bad people, and they came after them. So it was two separate targets. I have shown you all the red flags that I personally see. And believe me, there's over 200 more of those red flags. But the ones that I showed you all today, the reason I'm showing you all is I'm trying to connect it to the 4chan, the timelines. I know 4chan is written by an anonymous person, but what is strange is everything the anonymous person said seems to fit with the timelines of the Banfield boys, Saeed, and the figures running. Like I said, the figures are running at 312. If you minus 90 minutes, you're at 253. At 2:55, we heard there a female yelling, "Stop it, stop." And 2:52 was the last call made to Jack D. So if we do our maths, Anonymous was on point. The 19 minutes is coming in so well with what was going on, the 19 minutes. They made sure they wouldn't take any phones. They said they wouldn't take any GUNS because it's too loud. These people decided, they pre-planned all of this. Whether, I think some had beef with Kaylee, whether it was a stalker or whether it was related to Ruggs, possibly, I'm not sure, because I don't know honestly much about Kaylee and Maddie's financial situation. The couple were unalived definitely by the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. DM heard rummaging up upstairs. BF was at the frat party, so she would have known exactly what happened. And she could have seen from a window, so she definitely has escapoto evidence. When it comes to Adam, it's never been stated or said that Adam took Kaylee's job in Austin. That is honestly wrong. And it's not good that we just add things to make it suit our timeline or our theory. Adam did get a job, but it wasn't Kaylee's job. But I know whatever was told to Adam got the girls into trouble. And I believe it had something to do with Showalter. Isn't it strange that Kaylee's parents said in the interview in the beginning, 2 years ago, I showed you recently, Steve said that, Kaylee was so comfortable around Jack D. He said, they shared a dog. Then he said, even when you see them at the corner club, I felt comfortable seeing Kaylee near Jack D. She wasn't near Showalter. That's exactly what he said. So what does Steve know that we don't know? Steve has never liked Showalter, and I believe he thinks Showalter could have done it if it's not BK. I personally believe Showalter needs to be looked at, and that I'm saying as a person who's been researching this case from the beginning, and I'm saying this as a cognitive behavior therapist. There's a lot that is wrong with Mr. Jack Showalter, and he was around Kaylee and Maddie. I've seen him in pictures with Xana. He's friends with Xana on TikTok, Instagram, etc. And I find that to be very interesting. Let me know in the comment channel what you'll think. Today was more about the red flags that I wanted to share with you all. I still believe that the frats did it. The figures that were running were from the frats. Hoodie Boy, that is Showalter, I believe was involved. It could have been one of the figures running. Now we found out that David Lott has a picture with a white truck. We've seen a white truck in front of the girl's house at 1:56 a.m. We've seen the white truck driving towards the corner club when Kaylee and Maddie and Shawalter was walking to the grub truck. So Mr. Enormous in the 4chan, I personally believe, was completely right about how this happened. The motive is clear. The Davids did not like Ethan, and Shawalter had beef with Kaylee for getting him thrown out of the corner club, and he had beef with E for getting him thrown out of his frats. Please let me know in the comment channel what you think. Have a lovely weekend.